Hello, everybody. It's CJ Miller. Me, if you can see me. Hey. Okay, so love looking at the moon. Uh, Downtown Shreveport. I'm in downtown Shreveport, across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. Please do come check us out. We're a great vacation spot. We have a lot to offer visitors. So, and if you do come, you let me know. I'm about to go inside. I had just finished uh, the dinner, the prep work for the dinner. It was so easy, so easy. You're gonna love this. I may have done something before like this, but you're gonna love it. Uh, North Atlantic wild caught salmon, and just prepared in my oven. Very easy. And I'm going to give you some tips on it. Look at the beautiful coloring, especially around the edges where it gets a little bit crispy. Now, this is a sushi grade, so you don't have to worry about cooking this until it's entirely dry. Overly dry or overly cooked salmon, uh, can work. You can make, if you do overcook it or whatever, you can make various things with salmon that requires a more dry or more thoroughly cooked salmon. I like a good I like it to be cooked, but I don't like it to be dried out. And when I do this, I start cooking from I start eating from the shallow end, and then as I get to my time where I want to do some reheating or my leftovers or whatever, then the thicker pieces can withstand that a little bit more. It's great. I do a lot of cream cheese and salmon bagel when I do salmon, and that's what I'm doing tonight. But I want to talk about how I prepared this. Basically, I took this and just laid it on a well-oiled cooking sheet. Uh, it's fine. I have some pans like this. I use some for savory cooking, which is this, and some for sweet cooking, which is desserts, cookies, things like that. Um, I just that's fine. Um, Basically, I used a marinade, and the reason why I used this marinade is because I looked at a lot of recipes online over the years. It's a lot of garlic, uh, and citrus, typically lemon, uh, maybe a little bit of honey or sweetness or something like that. And it's like, I could do all that, but I had this marinade that I have, and I checked out the ingredients some time ago, and it was like, wow, this would work. It's basically a marinade that you would use for Spanish, especially beefs, porks, and stuff like that. Spanish Mexican cooking, just a marinade. A good, what I would think of a good mojo seasoning almost, where you take like maybe your Romanian tenderloin, large strips of Romanian tenderloin, and soak it. The only thing that separates this from a typical mojo, which is that maybe it's a little less peppery and a little more citrusy on the lemon, and it's also got a reddish color to it versus a you know beige citrusy color that a mojo sauce would have. But let me show you. Hang on. This is it's the marinade, the meat marinade, but I used it as a brushing sauce for the salmon. And you want to taste it. What I did was I put just a thin pour down the middle, the crease of the salmon fillet, and then I used a brush, a basting brush, a rubber basting brush, and just kind of basted it across, just the top. And then the herb. There are lots of herbs in this, but they're not potent. But I wanted something tarragon. So you can use fresh tarragon. This was dried tarragon. Either way, if you use fresh tarragon, you're going to end up pulling the leaves off of the stem anyway. But you would want to use a lot of the fresh tarragon, dried tarragon. The flavor is more potent anyway. And as you can see, I use a lot anyway. There are variations. You can take like slices of onion that have been marinated or broken down in vinegar or something and put on your cream cheese with some capers if you want to, or something like that. I've had been served, I guess over at Rhino Coffee downtown, I've been served a salmon bagel that has like bits of avocado and bits of tomato and bits of onion and everything in it. And it's like, I got to pick all this out of the salmon. And I don't want a salmon chutney, I want salmon bagel, So you can, I just used the straight cream cheese, but you can take various flavors and fold them into your cream cheese. If you want cream cheese with a little bit of a bite or a little bit of a whatever, you can do that. You can put a little bit of you can put a little aromatics, a kitchen bouquet or something like that, and kind of mix that into your cream cheese if you want a little flavor within your cream cheese. This is going to be quite flavorful enough. So what I'm going to do, the skin is on the bottom of this. It's okay. As I go to lift the, you know, the locks away from cream cheese, depending upon where the salmon is cooked or it's left sushi raw, basically. So, depending upon, you can call it grab locks and bagels or locks and bagels, depending upon the region and everything. So, but yeah, we're going to take the salmon bagel. I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull this away, and this works great with an avocado too. But I only like very fresh avocado, and I'm a single person. It doesn't do for me to butcher up an avocado when I only like it exceptionally fresh at the peak of ripeness. I'm too particular about avocado, and I don't do guacamole. Um, there you go. But hang on, let me plate this up, and then we'll go, over here at the table, and I'll eat it for you. I would love to offer you some, but you're not here. Okay, so this marinade and then this tarragon, 375 in my oven, not preheated. I just turned it on, put this in, didn't preheat it, but I let it go for 16 minutes. I set the timer for 20, but I watched, and we got to this great browning, this Maillard that happened, and wonderful. So I will see you after the click. Wonderful. Look at the coloring on this salmon. The thicker, the closer you get on something like this, the less cooked it's going to be, and that's okay. This is a good, I want to say medium to a salmon on this. The smaller bits cooked thoroughly through, and then the thicker you get to some places that are going to be, and also salmon has a more powerful flavor when it's left a little bit moist and not cooked thoroughly through. The salmon will have a powerful flavor, but the most important thing about this is that this will hold up to some rewarming if I want to do something to warm it. But also, this is I'm kind of filibustering this before I get into it because I want the salmon to be not overly warm when I eat it this time. And the reason why is it's salmon when it's chilled also. Served cold is wonderful for a breakfast, but this is my dinner. So, and it's kind of close to midnight now, and I've got my favorite soda, Coke Zero here. And basically, here we go. I'm just going to get into it. We need to taste it, right? This is going to be a mess because I'm just going to pick the whole thing up and bite into it. You can do these with, you can do like a canapes with this, a little salmon treated this way, something similar. Maybe if you don't find my particular type of marinade, you can use a mojo or you can mix it up. Basically, yeah. Did I read the ingredients on that? Let me go show. Hold up. This is something I could do to kill some time before I take this first bite. Wait for it. See you after the click. Okay, so this is yeah, this is so you can mix it at home if you wanted. Uh, we got water and a little oil being the main, a little bit of distilled vinegar, orange juice concentrate, tapatio seasoning. I guess we could look that up. I don't know what that is. Uh, but paprika, that's where the color comes from. And then garlic, a lot of citrus acid, a little bit of vinegar. So it's very acidic, white distilled vinegar throughout. But yeah, the main difference here is that this has a paprika to give it that red flavor, whereas the mojo does not. And this is also less peppery, and a mojo would be a little bit more peppery. But uh, yeah. Um, you could easily mix this up or something close to it in your own kitchen, as could I. Um, the In this case, because of the way the thinness that we spread it, the paprika is not necessarily needed because we're going to get this good brown around the crispy edges one way or the other from doing this in the oven. And a lot of times people will smoke the salmon on a grill. But let's bite it now. We waited long enough, right? I know I have. Hang on. Hmm. There's just something, I don't know, to me that I love about the blend of cream cheese with bagel uh, and salmon. Really, I meant to say salmon. The bagel is a toasted everything bagel, spread with cream cheese, kind of medium to light toasted. I didn't. You don't need to. You don't need to overly do it. Um, I did the. You can do this. The salmon is softened. I mean the cream cheese is softened, but still cold. I didn't let it get to room temperature. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say except for I'm going to say goodbye. God bless, love and light, bon appetit, because I want to get to my meal. I love you. Have a good night. Bye.